Hello friends, this is Roxanne, and today, I'm going to recap the 2023 action-adventure anime called Trigun Stampede Episode 1 and Episode 2. But before that, it's my humble request to every person who is watching this, please like this video and share it with your friends. It will only take a second for you guys to like this video, but for me, it will help this video reach out to more people. While at a diner in the town of Jinora Rock, Vash and his new companions come across a radio broadcast about two dangerous criminals who had escaped from May City prison the previous night, known as the Nebraskas. These convicts were convicted for a total of 69 counts of manslaughter and 12 counts of attempted murder. Vash explains to Meryl and Roberto that it is not him who is stealing plants, but rather his twin brother. Knives. The group questions whether Vash has any evidence to back up his claim, but he does not. Suddenly, a young boy, Tonis, approaches Vash and shows him some insects, which causes Rosa, the owner of the diner, to scold the child and tell him not to bring worms inside. The residents of the town, now suspicious of Vash, pull out their guns and begin shooting at him. Vash is able to escape with the help of Meryl and Roberto, while the Nebraskas, believing Vash to be an easy target due to his appearance on the wanted poster, make their way to Jinora Rock to capture him. Vash is perusing his wanted poster in Jinora Rock and is disappointed with the picture used. The locals begin to suspect that the journalists may be working with Vash and his gang. Roberto suggests that Vash should fight back to make things easier. Meryl inquires about Vash's ammunition, to which he confirms he has some but chooses not to use them as they are too expensive. He compares a bullet to the cost of 2 slices of pizza. Vash and his companions are about to leave the city when Rosa intercepts them at the city gates and apprehends them. The Nebraskas, who had been chasing Vash for his bounty, spot the capture from a distance and increase their pursuit. Rosa explains to Vash that they are grateful for his help but need the money from his bounty to support their children. Suddenly, the Nebraskas arrive and as their vehicle is about to hit Tonis, Rosa and Vash both leap to save him. The Nebraskas reveal themselves and announce their intention to challenge Vash and claim his bounty. Vash runs away from the Nebraskas on an animal, with Meryl and Roberto chasing after him in their car. Govsef, one of the Nebraskas, shoots his punch at Vash, but Vash manages to evade it. However, the Nebraska's vehicle eventually overheats, and Govsef uses his punch to grab hold of Vash's animal. Vash continues to run while pulling Govsef and his father, who is on his shoulder. Nebraska, the other Nebraska, challenges Vash to a duel, but Vash refuses, stating that he prefers to avoid confrontation. Nebraska becomes increasingly frustrated, calling Vash a coward. Eventually, the luggage that Govsef had caught falls off the animal and Vash is able to escape. Nebraska is disappointed that they will now have to return to prison without obtaining Vash's bounty. However, he looks back at Jinora Rock and comes up with a new plan. After a while, Vash stops running and Meryl approaches him, criticizing his decision to run away instead of fighting. Vash admits that he is somewhat timid, but wonders if that is such a terrible thing. He questions whether fighting is truly worth it if it means sacrificing someone's life. The notorious criminal duo, the Nebraskas, had set their sights on the small town of Jinora Rock, known for its valuable plant that was essential to the town's economy. Vash, a skilled gunslinger and protector of the town, heard about the attack on the radio and quickly made his way back to the city. The Nebraskas succeeded in stealing the plant, causing the residents to panic and cease their attack. Rosa, a resident of Jinora Rock, attempted to stop the Nebraskas, but was captured and thrown into the air by Govsef, one of the Nebraskas. However, Vash arrived just in time to kick away Govsef's punch and catch Rosa before she fell. Nebraska, the leader of the Nebraskas, questioned Vash's return to the city and wondered if he had fled to draw their attention away from the plant. Govsef launched a series of attacks on Vash, but he expertly dodged each one. Nebraska grew frustrated that Vash was not drawing his gun and explained that his own rockets were too expensive to waste on a fight. Annoyed, Nebraska ordered Govsef to continue the attack. As the battle raged on, Vash found himself in mid-air and Nebraska saw his opportunity to strike. Believing that Vash would not be able to dodge his bullet, he fired. However, Vash managed to survive and dodge the bullet. Vash stated that he still did not want to fight and that if the Nebraskas took the plant, the town would be doomed. Nebraska reminded Vash that the residents had tricked him and were after his head. But Vash didn't care. He explained that the residents had been kind to him and he wanted to help them. As a result of Nebraska's previous rocket attack, the platform they were on begins to collapse. Nebraska quickly moves to the opposite side next to Vash, but Govsev attempts to save the plant by trying to carry it to Vash. Despite the platform falling apart, Govsev manages to hand off the plant to Vash. Rosa, seeing the situation, points her gun at Nebraska and offers to help them only if he returns the plant. Nebraska agrees and the townspeople come together to help Vash pull Govsev to safety. After the incident, Nebraska starts to leave with Govsev, but Rosa invites everyone to the local diner to celebrate. As they drink and celebrate, Vash decides to leave. Roberto notices and follows him outside, realizing that Vash cannot stay in one place for too long as it would put the townspeople in danger. Roberto wonders who Vash is running away from, and then recalls it was his twin brother Knives Millions. As they were discussing, they hear screams coming from the diner. They rush back to find small, lost technology robots clinging onto Govsev. As the robots turn red, Govsev runs out of the diner and they explode. Later, the local weather channel issues a warning about a raging sandstorm that is quickly approaching the western part of the continent. The residents of the small town where Vash and his friends are staying are thrown into a state of panic as the storm grows larger and more intense. In the midst of the chaos, a group of individuals appear, armed with advanced technology that attaches bombs to unsuspecting citizens. Roberto warns Vash to stay away from the bombs, explaining that they are the work of a notorious criminal known as E.G. Bomber, who is known for his deadly and indiscriminate attacks. One of the residents end up having few bombs who activate. The resident, realizing the danger, quickly runs away from the rest of the group to prevent anyone else from getting hurt. As he runs, he turns back and calls out to Vash and the others to save the town. Roberto explains that the bomber's real name is Ethan Gilbert Hamilton, and that he has earned the nickname Easy Bomber due to his tendency to take lives without hesitation. They don't know what his ultimate goal is and will need to find and question him. Roberto also explains that the bomber gets a thrill from watching his work play out. Vash looks around for a good vantage point and spots one, shooting at it and revealing the bomber's location. E.G. Bomber starts to run, but Vash and the others give chase. The bomber leads them into a minefield, where a resident tragically steps on a mine and dies. The bomber taunts them, saying he has been reborn and now goes by the name E.G. the Mine. E.G. enters a high-speed armored vehicle and speeds towards the town's vital power plant. Vash quickly realizes what he's up to and gives chase. Roberto, who is with Meryl, remarks on how being associated with Vash always leads to trouble and danger. Suddenly, Roberto's bomb implanted by E.G. activates, causing Meryl to panic and consider drastic measures. As E.G. approaches the power plant, a resident spots him and warns him to stay away as the entire town is rigged with explosives. E.G. ignores the warning and proceeds to infiltrate the plant and steal its valuable technology. Vash manages to catch up and jumps onto E.G.'s vehicle, demanding that he deactivate the bombs before more innocent people get hurt. E.G. reveals that his true motivation is not to steal, but to kill and watch the chaos unfold. Vash points his gun at E.G., but the latter intentionally crashes his vehicle. E.G. gets the upper hand and takes Vash's gun, gloating about his victory. Roberto and Meryl quickly move in and apprehend E.G., threatening to kill him if he doesn't reveal how to deactivate the bombs. Vash also joins in, leaving E.G. with no chance of escape. With seconds to spare before the bombs detonate, E.G. reveals that there is a red button on his back that needs to be pressed. Vash quickly activates the button, successfully deactivating all the bombs and saving the town. Roberto and Meryl succeed in apprehending E.G. but are faced with a difficult decision on what to do with him. Nebraska is determined to seek revenge for his son's death, but Vash urges everyone to think about the consequences of their actions. Suddenly, Vash hears a familiar melody and urges everyone to flee the town. E.G. manages to break free and runs towards the source of the music. but is met with a gruesome fate at the hands of his true mastermind, Knives Millions. Vash and Knives confront each other, with Knives taunting Vash about his desire for acceptance from the people. Vash stands firm, refusing to let Knives take the plant. In a fit of frustration, Knives touches Vash's gun, triggering a mysterious portal that transports Vash to an alternate reality where he is a child again. Knives reveals that he still cannot control his powers. As Knives leaves the small town diner, the town's protector, Nebraska, spots him and quickly fires a rocket at him in revenge for his son's death. But to Nebraska's surprise, the rocket seems to have no effect on Knives, who then turns his attention to the town's valuable energy plant. Rosa, a brave resident of Genora Rock, tries to stop Knives from taking the plant, but her efforts are in vain as Knives easily dispatches her and the other women who try to stop him. With the help of his allies, Knives makes short work of the town's defenses and successfully takes the energy plant. Vash, who had been watching from a distance, tries to intervene and stop Knives from taking the plant, but Knives easily deflects his bullets with his advanced blades. Realizing the true intent of Knives, Vash takes Rosa and runs for safety as Knives starts to destroy the town, cutting it to pieces with his blades. As Vash runs, he can't help but wonder why Knives would want to destroy a defenseless town. The town is in shambles, the residents left injured or dead. Meryl and Roberto were lucky to have escaped without a scratch, but the sight of the devastation left them in shock. As they approach Vash and Rosa, they see that Rosa is cradling a severely injured Tonus. The Nebraska's father and son were also among the survivors, but their injuries were severe. Rosa is in tears, saying that they have lost everything and will not be able to rebuild. She can hardly believe that Vash has such a monstrous brother. Vash offers to return the stolen plant, but Rosa tells him to leave and never come back, blaming him for the destruction that occurred. Vash turns to leave, but Meryl follows him, wondering how he can still smile after everything that has happened. Vash explains that he doesn't deserve to grieve. He's caused too much pain. Meryl asks where he's going, and Vash tells her he's headed east to the city of July, where his brother Knives is. And this brings the anime to an end. Comment for part 4. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on another video. Until next time, take care.